Good evening, friends, and welcome to Sky High Symposium Session 54, virtual program series of Women and Young Members Excellence Committee. I, on behalf of Institute, welcome all of you. And today we have 54th session, and hope that everyone is taking the benefit of this program. So, friends, we have today's session on RERA in last 5 years. Do not open the screen right now. Please close the screen right now. मेरा ही दिख रहा है ना पूरा मेरे को अभी मेरा ही सिर्फ दिख रहा है हाँ सबको सिर्फ यही so we are yet 2 minutes. Let me address all of you. So do not start the screen right now. So what friends, it is our endeavor to serve all of you the best. So accordingly, we have started this series since last more than 1 years, and this last 5 years, lot of new rules, regulation, new acts have come into place. So like GST, RERA, then BRSR, like that, lot of new rural acts have come. And accordingly, there are a lot of new opportunities to our members also. And hence, we want this platform to be taken by our own women members to share their knowledge. And accordingly, this session is on RERA, which will be taken by CA Pooja Chheda, and along with that, see a woman as a leader, which will be taken by Simone Sangvi. So these both are the speakers who will be taking this session for the first time on this platform and sharing their knowledge. Along with we have CA Palak Tikhani, Ruchi Chawla, Ritu Bhuta, and Mosam Shah as the moderators. So I welcome all the moderators who are taking up, investing their time and taking this initiative and supporting us. And I welcome all my beautiful, intelligent women participants also to this session. And I'm sure with this session, your knowledge will be enriched. And this will be interactive session. If you have any question, please use the chat box. Put your questions in the chat, and the speaker will definitely answer all your questions. With these words, once again, I welcome all of you, and I now request Ritu to take the proceedings further.
Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining in the session. I would like you to introduce to our first speaker today, which is Pooja Chheda, who qualified in 2019. Post qualification, she is working as a freelancer, in which last 2 years she is working with RC Jain and Associate Company LLP as an audit manager, and from last 1 year she is handling RERA litigation compliances. So Pooja, welcome to the session and over to you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, so firstly, thank you, Ritu ma'am, for my introduction. And thank you, Sky Symposium and Preeti Savla ma'am, for allowing me to present on this topic today. So I greet everyone. Hello, everyone. Due to some technical glitch, I'm unable to share my video, but I hope I'm audible. In case I'm not audible, let me know through chat.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead, Pooja. Share your screen now.
Yeah, sure. Is the screen visible?
Yes, Pooja.
Okay, so let's start quickly. So today my topic is...
1 second. I request our Vice Chairman, C. Abhay Chachet, also is also there. Actually, he was in management committee and his agenda was going on at that time. So I request Abhay ji, please come forward. And Pooja, can you please stop your screen sharing for a moment? Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, Abhay.
No, thank you very much, and extremely sorry, Pooja, for actually interrupting you in between, and just take a minute. So, of course, the chairperson is here, Madam Preeti Savla, and we are in the Sky High Symposium number 54. So once again, welcome on behalf of the Women Young Members Excellence Committee. all the speakers today, the Pooja Cheda and the CA Simone Sangvi. So both of them would be covering two important topics. I would say one, of course, the audit under RERA and the introduction, the brief about RERA, which actually it's more important, I would say, because I think RERA now is applicable across more or less in India and all states. So very interesting topic to know from an eminent speaker like Pooja, and she'll be deliberating. So thank you, Pooja, again for sparing your valuable time today. And of course, second topic, women as a leader, which we know because that was the reason of changing this empowerment of last year. This committee was Women Empowerment Committee. Now it is Women Excellence Committee, Young Members and Excellence. So one of the reasons was this, that now women are a leader, so they've been performing at each position everywhere. They've been seeing whether it's an independent director, whether we have a council colleague sitting right and next to me, Preeti Savla, or anywhere. I would say the women have been performing so well. So I'm sure we'll have an excellent deliberation again from Simone on this very important topic. And of course, the coordinators, thank you again, CA Palak, CA Ruchi, CA Ritu, and CA Mosam for being here and ensuring that this Sky High Symposium 54 goes smoothly. And I think you also are getting an opportunity to speak, as a coordinator, as a moderator, and I'm sure your contribution also would be taken well on record and will be well appreciated, and definitely would need your support going forward in future. Thank you very much again, all of you, all the participants who are here, and for sparing your time for these two important topics. And of course, from the office initiating this Sky High Symposium each Wednesday, which is there, and we have reached 54. And I'm sure by end of this year, we'll be touching 100 such programs under the chairperson leadership, Preeti Savla, and of course, me being the vice chairman. So thank you very much, and I wish each one a happy learning. Thank you for this opportunity.
Over to Pooja.
So Pooja, I think you can now start and share your screen, and we can have your deliberation first. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So now we'll quickly start with our today's topic. So my today's topic is basically RERA. RERA, full form of RERA is Real Estate Regulation and Development Act 2016. So our today's agenda is introduction of RERA and audit per se of RERA. So first we will touch upon why RERA Act was required. Okay, I'll do that. Is it visible now? Sure. Is it now visible? Yeah, so may I proceed? So first we'll understand why there was the need of RERA Act. Earlier there were various state acts governing real estate sector. So first of the major concern was real estate and housing sectors were highly unregulated sector. As we all know, the real estate sector has been marred by a number of scams over many years that has adversely affected the livelihoods of thousands of families across the country. Since the sector is one of our economy's most recognized and vibrant sectors, the central and state government have come up with the various initiatives to strengthen the governance in the sector. So, RERA was introduced to regulate this sector in order to bring transparency and accountability. A mechanism is being mandated under RERA wherein the promoter, developer is mandated and is required to submit each and every project details, which is further verified through various professionals on regular time and intervals, and then the same is required to be submitted to RERA. So various professionals such as architect, engineer, chartered accountant first verify the progress and the authenticity of the project, and then it is being submitted. So this is how there is a increase in transparency of the projects carried under RERA regime. As I said, RERA is state act, correct? So this as I am in Maharashtra, we follow here Maharera. Same likewise, there are RERA is now almost in every state of our country. So further, why RERA Act was further required? See, earlier there was no proper consolidated information about the builder or developer was available. Now, after introduction of RERA, just on a click on by visiting on the MahaRERA official website, just by entering the promoter name, we can get whole information about the promoter, the projects under that promoter which are registered, and whole lot of details. What all area is covered under that project, all titles and everything, every sort of detail we just get by a click on MahaRERA official website. So this is where we get a proper consolidated information about the builder and developer before entering into any transaction on MahaRERA website. Fourth was, earlier there were no proper remedies available for a buyer. If a builder defaults, if builder is not delivering on time, if builder has not delivered as committed. Now, after the RERA Act has constructed a various mechanisms and provisions wherein the buyer right is protected, and also fast and speedy judicial authority is operating to resolve grievances of buyers and help them in timely possession and compensation for delay. So this was a short brief why RERA was required, why such regulation was required in real estate sector. Now we'll further move to a small introduction of RERA Act. So the Real Estate Regulation and Development Act 2016 is an act of the Parliament of India which seeks to protect home buyers as well as helps boost investment in the real estate industry. The bill was passed by the Rajya Sabha on 10th March 2016 and by the Lok Sabha on 15th March 2016. The act came into force from 1st May 2016 with 69 of 92 sections notified. The central and state governments are liable to notify the rules under the Act within a statutory period of 6 months. Again, the RERA Act is not retrospective, it's prospective. In order to understand this Act, there are certain terms wherein understanding of these terms will help us to more to get better understanding of further provisions of RERA. First term is allottee. Now, what we understand by allottee? Allottee means with respect to real estate project means the person to whom a plot, apartment, or building, as the case may be, has been allotted or sold, irrespective of leasehold or freehold basis, or otherwise transferred by the promoter. It also includes the person who subsequently acquires the said allotment through sale, transfer, or otherwise. However, it does not include a person to whom such plot, apartment, or building, as the case may be, is given on rent. So basically, allottee will be a person to whom transfer is made with a motto of permanent transfer and with transferring all rights and titles duly therein. Therefore, rented premises is not considered. The tenant is not considered as an allottee. I hope allottee definition and its understanding is clear. Now we'll further move to carpet area. Earlier, no act governing real estate defined carpet area. Carpet area was firstly defined under RERA Act. So, carpet area means the net usable floor area of an apartment, excluding the area covered by the external walls, open walls, areas under services, shops, exclusively balcony or veranda, and exclusive open terrace. But it includes the area covered by internal partition walls of the apartment. So, in short, carpet area covers all the covered apartments but excludes the open area. If a balcony is covered, then it will be considered under carpet area or else it will be excluded. Further, third important term as per me is commencement certificate. What we understand by commencement certificate? Commencement certificate is basically the building permit or the construction permit by whatever name called issued by the competent authority to allow or permit the promoter to begin development works on an immovable property as per the sanctioned plans. Commencement certificate in layman terms is a green signal for the developer to commence its construction work and develop the premises as sanctioned by the competent authority. Fourth one is occupancy certificate. Occupancy certificate, commonly known as OC, it means the occupancy certificate or such other certificate by whatever name is called issued by the competent authority permitting occupancy of any building as provided under local laws, which has provision for civic infrastructure such as water, sanitation, and electricity, etc. So, occupancy certificate in layman terms can be understood as the project is completed and now possession can be given. Now, most important word, promoter. Whole act is roving around the word promoter. Promoter means a person who constructs or causes to be constructed as an independent building or a building consisting of apartments or converts an existing building or a part thereof into apartments for the purpose of selling or some of the apartments to other person and also includes his assignee. So basically, any person who constructs any type of apartment, independent building, or converts existing building or any part of it with motto to further sell that apartment will be construed as promoter. Promoter, a person who develops land into a project, whether or not the person also constructs structure on any of the plots for the purpose of selling to other persons or some of the plots in the said project, whether with or without structure, is also known as promoter. any development authority or any public body in respect of allottees of buildings or apartments, as the case may be, constructed by such authority or body on lands owned by them, plots owned by such authority or body, or placed at their disposal by the government for the purpose of selling all or some of the apartments or plots, and also an apex state level cooperative housing finance society, a primary cooperative housing society which constructs apartment or building for its members or in respect of the allottees. I hope till now we have understood the meaning and terminology of this following words. Now we'll further move uh, with one of the important part is registration. Now, under RERA, who is liable to get registered under RERA? So, let's first understand to whom registration is mandatory and to whom it is exempt. Okay, so all commercial real estate projects where before understanding a registration, we shall first focus on intention of the developer or promoter. Whether the promoter intends to sell it to the third party. If the answer is no, then no RERA registration is required, as there is no intention to sell it to the third party, as RERA mainly focus on timely deliver and completion to third party. If it is your private development, then no RERA registration is mandated. And if the answer is yes, intention is to sell it to the third party, then we need to check the quantum of project. So, what is quantum of project? So, if land area of project is more than 500 square meters or more than 8 apartments, either of it, then registration is required. If both the conditions not satisfied, no RERA registration is required. If either of the condition is satisfied, registration is mandated. So I'll repeat where registration is mandated. All commercial or residential projects where land is over 500 square meters and or exceeding 8 apartments, registration is mandated. So, for ongoing projects, so ongoing project was mainly focused when this act was first introduced. For ongoing projects where CC was not received, CC I mean completion certificate on the date of commencement of the act was not received, such projects were also mandatorily liable for registration, and they were supposed to seek registration within 3 months. Also, real estate agents who are willing to deal with sale and purchase of property are also liable to take registration. Over here, registration could be in 2 parts, like individual and other than individual. So, individual, if agent is an individual, he can get registered under individual registration, and if is other than individual, then agent is required to take other than individual certificate, that is on the name of business entity. So what are the exceptional cases where registration is not required to be taken? So there are 3 cases where RERA registration is not required. First one is where promoter has received completion certificate for a project prior to commencement of this act. Second is any kind of renovation, repair, or redevelopment of work is to be done provided it doesn't involve marketing, advertising, selling, or new allotment of any apartment under the project. And the third one is it does not apply to construction of industrial units such as factories or warehouse. If you will see, all the three exceptions are the first one is since commencement is already being received, so it is governed by earlier act, so RERA registration is not mandated. Further, repair renovation is not getting involved in new flat or nothing is newly sellable, and therefore registration is not mandated. And thirdly, factory or warehouse is basically for own purpose, private purpose, and not for public in large, and therefore registration is not mandated. So now we'll come on what is the process of registration. It is a very simple process. Applicant has to file an application for a registration with RERA in the prescribed form. Application for registration must be decision on whether the registration is being approved or rejected will be shall be given in 30 days from the date of application by RERA. On successful registration, the promoter of project will be provided with a registration number, a login ID and password for the applicants to fill up, and essential details on the website of the RERA. Practically, there are 3 rounds taken while registration. So there are 3 levels who verify the details and documents, and then registration certificate is provided. What if a promoter or a person who is required to be registered fails to get registered? A penalty of up to 10% of the project cost or 3 years imprisonment may be imposed. I hope the mandate and non-mandate and the requisition of registration is till now clear. Now we'll move further with compliances to be made by the promoter. So, monitoring of progress and authenticity of progress is governed through various forms to be verified and taken from professional experts by the promoter, and then it is supposed to be submitted to RERA authority. As I earlier mentioned, that transparency transparency in project is actually reviewed by various professional experts under RERA regime. So there are basically 6 forms, as you can see on the screen. Form 1 is known as Architect Certificate. Architect Certificate enables us to know the percentage of work completed. So, Architect Certificate contains various details in description of the development and in detail of specific part being developed and overall development of the said structure. So let's say plain floor 1, floor 2, exact percentage of development is stated in architect certificate. Then structural engineer certificate. Structural engineer certificate enable us to know the total cost of construction involved in development of the structure, and further estimated cost of construction required required to develop that structure. Further, Form 2A Quality Assurance Certificate was that all the material used and the structure uh, developed is properly checked for various natural calamities and due to calamities. So, quality assurance certificate ensures the structural plan is proper and also ensures the quality of materials being used. Form 3 CA certificate. So, Form 3 is a certificate where promoter is to acquire a certificate from independent auditor. This certificate basically ensures the total
Hello. What happened? Oh, why so? Can we let me speak to Ruchi?
Yes, ma'am.
Just a minute. Good evening, friends. I guess due to some technical issue, Pooja ma'am must have left. So someone from a technical team is, coordinating with her. So just give us a few minutes time, and we'll get back to you. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay. Just give us some time. I'll try to add her as soon as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, hello. Pooja ma'am is joining in shortly. She's having network issue.
Okay. Thank you.
Pooja ma'am, you please continue.
Hello.
Yeah, Pooja ma'am, you please continue.
Hello.
Yeah, ma'am, you are audible.
Am I now connected? Please confirm.
Yes, you are audible, but your screen is not visible yet. Please share your screen.
It is not visible.
Now it is perfectly fine. It is visible properly.
Now it is fine, right?
Okay. Yes.
I'll restart.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry for the interruption. Due to network glitch, it got disconnected. So we were on Form 3. Yeah. As I'll repeat once again. Form 3 is a CA certificate which a promoter has to acquire from an independent auditor. Form 3 enables a promoter to withdraw amount deposited in an escrow account in order to utilize it as construction cost, utilize to utilize it further for construction purpose, for meeting the construction cost. So Form 4 is a certificate given by an architect. This certificate is usually given on completion of the project. So if the building is fully, building or a structure as per the plan is fully developed, therein architect given certificate stating that 100% development of work is completed and now it is ready for possession. So Form 4 indicates completion of a project or a structure. Form 5, Form 5 is an annual certificate given by a chartered accountant. So a statutory auditor who audits the books of the promoter is required to give Form 5 annually. So basically, it is an annual certificate stating the status of the project. Now we'll further discuss Form 3 and Form 3 and Form 5 in detail in further slides. Now, a role of an auditor under RERA. So, chartered accountants have been given an imperative responsibility under the Act for protecting the misutilization of funds collected from the allottees. So, how a chartered accountant will perform this function? So, it is being functioned through two forms which are being issued after signature of CA. That is namely Form 3 and Form 5. So as earlier we discussed, Form 3 is issued by an independent auditor for withdrawals of funds from escrow account, and Form 5 is the annual report on statements of accounts as issued by statutory auditor. Form 3 contains detail of estimated cost till the date of issuance of Form 3, actual cost incurred by the promoter, details of units sold and unsold, also amount realized from the sold units, means of finance of project. Means of finance means source of capital through which this project is functioning, and details of deposit and withdrawal from bank. So here by bank we mean escrow account, which is separately maintained for respective project. So Form 3 is issued by an independent auditor and submitted by the promoter at the time of registration as well as at the time of withdrawal of funds from the designated escrow account. The promoter has to maintain two accounts for each project, wherein a separate designated account known as escrow account is to be maintained with schedule bank, wherein 70% of the total amount realized from the allotee shall be deposited. I'll give an example. Let's say flat number 101 is sold to Mr. A. Total consideration to be received for the said flat is 1 lakh rupees, out of which 50,000 is being received from the said allotee. So out of 50,000, 70%, that is 35,000, will be deposited to escrow account, and rest 15,000 will be deposited to normal account. So there are further no restrictions on usage of amount which is deposited into 30% account. However, to withdraw amount from designated escrow account, that is 70% account, Form 3 is required. Further, this amount can be withdrawn only for the usage of cost of construction, that is to meet cost of construction. Form 3 is required to be submitted on quarterly frequency, that is 15 days from the end of respective quarter. Further, we'll move to Form 5. Form 5 is the annual report on statement of accounts as issued by statutory auditor. What does this form certify? This form will certify that amount collected for particular project has been utilized for the said project only, and withdrawal has been in compliance with the proportion to percentage of completion as certified by the architect. So, timeline to comply with the Form 5 is within 6 months from the end of financial year, that is till 30th September of the financial year. Now we'll move further with certain checkpoints which we shall take into consideration while auditing the books of promoter. So, first point is with respect to reconciliation of inventory units and amount received from allottees shall be made by comparing books of accounts, filed forms, and promoter working. I'll further elaborate this. Let's say total number of units under the project is 50. Unsold unit in inventory is, let's say, 10. So sold units, that is balancing figure, is 40 units. So consideration, after considering check bounce, check return, should be 40 units sold along with the sales price, and that should match with the underlying working or record maintained by the promoter, and it should be in sync with the Form 5, Form 3 filed on timely basis, and along with the tally data provided for the audit. So, this is how we can keep a check, or auditor should basically verify whether the amount as mentioned in the forms being submitted to RERA authority and books of accounts maintained by the promoter are in sync or no. RERA registration certificate contains proposed date of completion of project, which can be verified while conducting the audit. If in case the proposed date of project, if in case on the date of proposed date of completion of project is not completed or it is not expected to meet that proposed completion date, then an extension shall be sought by the promoter in order to comply with the timelines by filing an extension application to the authority. In case the promoter fails, auditor shall ensure that extension of same is being sought, or else he must inform the same to the audit. Third is advertisement expense. Advertisement expense shall be allowed as cost of construction only after RERA registration number is received. Otherwise, it will be disallowed for withdrawal point of view. That is, it will not be allowed to, such expense cannot be withdrawn from escrow account. And it has to be withdrawn from 30% account. So, since it is not considered as cost of construction until the registration number is received, and therefore same will not be allowed for withdrawal. So, auditor shall ensure that advertisement expense is allowed as a cost of construction only after RERA registration number is being received. In case of redevelopment project, we can check whether there is timely payment of compensation paid to the earlier occupants for temporary accommodation provided to them. So, in case of redevelopment, we can further check whether timely payment is being made to the tenants as a temporary accommodation or not. So here I conclude my today's session. I hope I could deliver the basic understanding of RERA and certain checkpoints which shall be considered while conducting audit, as well as certain audit responsibilities to be fulfilled by chartered accountant. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, my video is not visible, right? Or is it?
Yeah.
Am I visible?
Yeah, you are, ma'am.
Okay. I'm just checking that if there is any question answer, then we can take it.
Surely, ma'am.
Yeah. Actually, there are no question answer. Anyone want to ask any question? पूजा मैम, इसका दो ही रीजन हो सकता है, या तो एकदम सुपर्ब लेक्चर है कि जिसकी वजह से किसी को भी क्वेश्चन नहीं है, और या तो हाँ किसी ने ध्यान से उतना सुना नहीं है. बट आई एम वेरी मच श्योर कि इतना इंटरेस्टिंग लेक्चर था एंड यू हैव सिंप्लीफाइड इन सच अ वंडरफुल वे कि किसी को भी क्वेश्चन नहीं है. सो it was a superb session.
And I just whether I could deliver it properly.
Yeah, it was. Yes, actually, it was a wonderful session. Very, you have covered the definitions and very small things also you have covered. So maybe because of that, the concepts are so much clear that nobody has any questions. Okay. And I just want to conclude that Real Estate Regulation Development Act 2016 was introduced to safeguard the public interest with regards to the real estate sector. And as a Pooja ma'am said, as a part of the same, a lot of faith and trust has been put on the professionals like the architecture, chartered accountant, and engineers, and thereby assigning different roles to them. Every sections under this act has some roles to play, especially for a chartered accountant.
Correct.
Has been developed and prepared in consultation with the chartered accountant, and lots of roles and responsibility given to a CA, like a certification, auditing, representation, due diligence, legal practice. Thus, the RERA has offered many opportunities for work for a chartered accountant owing to extensive compliances required under the Act. The compliances being most lucrative exercise for a young CA. And this, at the same time, lots of construction is going on in a city like a Mumbai, where I am sitting. And every alternate society is also going under the redevelopment nowadays. So I'm very much sure that because of nowadays the RERA consultancy seems to be an attractive field to be pursued as a career.
Yeah. I'll sorry to interrupt. I'll just like to add one more part to it.
Yes,
so, apart from RERA compliances, a great career opportunity is also there in RERA litigation. There are very less professionals who, I mean, the chartered accountants who are there either completely or dedicatedly for RERA litigation. So, RERA litigation is also a upcoming career opportunity, growing a career opportunity.
Yes, very true, ma'am. And as you have, after attending this lecture and understanding provisions in very simple way, I'm sure it will help many young women member to grab this opportunity and start the career under RERA. So, on behalf of Women and Young Member Excellence Committee, I would like to thank you, today's speaker, CA Pooja Chheda ma'am, for giving her valuable time and giving us a valuable insight for the topic. Thank you so much, ma'am.
I'm obliged, ma'am. I'm obliged to get this opportunity to speak.
Thank you. And I would also like to thank you, CA Preeti Savla ma'am, for chairperson of a Women and Young Member Excellence Committee, for always inspiring us and giving me an opportunity to be a part of Sky High Symposium. Such a wonderful series of a session. And last but not the least, I would also like to thank you, CA Abhay Chheda sir, Vice Chairperson of a Women and Young Member Excellence Committee, and CA Richa Gupta, who has explained me the entire procedure, how to start a Zoom call and vagera. So thank you, Richa. Now I would like to hand over to the next coordinator, CA Ruchi Chawla, who will take forward this wonderful session. Thank you.
Very good evening, everyone. I am CA Ruchi Chawla, moderator of this session too. Our eminent speaker will talk about women as leader in this session, and we hope that same shall be useful to the members. Before that, a small introduction about the speaker. CA Simoni Sangvi ma'am. She is practicing chartered accountant from 2019 as a proprietor of Simoni Sangvi and Associates. Previously, she had worked as tax manager at PR Gandhi and Company LLP, merged with Incorporation Advisory Services Private Limited. She is registered as tax expert at Eric's Advisors and expertmiles.com. She has completed certification in IFRS. Her specialization is in taxation and finance field. She is author of more than 10 anthologies, and her hobbies are playing musical instruments and reading novels. We welcome you, ma'am. And over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ruchi Chawla, for introducing me to the session. First of all, I want you all to unmute and say hip hip hooray for the topic, because we all are women as a leaders in some or the other field. So say hip hip. I want to hear hooray.
Hooray.
Yeah. Okay.
Hooray.
Now I will go ahead with my presentation. Okay, so women as a leaders, we all know at some or the other point we are leaders, whether it is at home, whether it is at office place, or whether it is as a politician or at educational institute, anywhere. So just 1 second. Okay. From leading nations to standing up for women rights to running the world's most important organization, women continue to shape the world through their leadership. So we as a leader, we shape the nation with our great leadership qualities and working with a great enthusiasm. So now, what are the qualities of a leader? What are the characteristics? How a woman can be defined, or any person can be defined as a leader? So there are 7 qualities. First is interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skill is what comes within us. Okay, what we have developed, what our attitude is. Our attitude is positive. Our attitude is taking towards what attitude we are taking towards our organization, with the employees, or with the co-working members or coordinators, or anything at our workplace. There is a communication skill. Second, communication skill is very important while leading any organization. If you do not communicate well, you cannot place your things, you cannot decide for any work, or you cannot go heart in heart with your employees, with your coordinators. So communication skill for a leader is very important. If he or she communicates well, then he can get in touch with the all the departments of their organization. Whether not on organization only, we can go well in our day-to-day life also. Values. Now values is somewhat, it is developed in the women, already developed by God in women's. That is, we respect people, we respect the elders, we respect the juniors, we have the positive attitude to get over the things, we make the decision in a right manner after thinking, and we give values to our work, we give values to our seniority, our positions. Then organizational consciousness. Organizational consciousness means that we take our work very seriously. We balance our life, we balance our organization, we go through the goals and aims of the organization as well. We think that when we grow, our organization should also grow. Confidence. So a leader should be confident of what decision making, what decisions he is taking or she's taking for her organization, for her workplace, or what decision she is making for her own life. She should be confident at all the levels to become a leader. Creativity. Okay, so to become a leader is just not to be at a position where you lead a team. It is always how creatively you motivate your team members, or how creative are you to keep them motivating for working for life and dedication, with dedication. Okay, achieving. So we are achievers. So becoming a leader, there is always an aim or a goal with which we work. So we have to achieve them with all these characteristics. Okay. Now, these are the 4 unique qualities which a woman leader has. persuasive nature. Okay, we accept everything into our arms. We are very persuasive. We say whatever comes in, we should take it as a challenge and we should go ahead with it. Positive attitude. We all have positive attitude, as we see, like in symposium, Sky Symposium, we all are women members. Whatever challenges are given a week before is being served in this week, and we all come with a positive attitude saying that whatever happens, we'll give our the best, we'll give our 100% at it. Team building. So believe me, women are the most important person or most eligible person who makes the team building, because at home place also she works with the whole team, she manages her work, and then at office place also she believes in whatever, whether the person is working as a lower level or medium level or at senior position. So she believes that all should be involved in decision making. She listens to everyone, and she believes that if the team does not grow, she cannot grow. Risk taking. So women have an attitude. कोई बोलता है ना कि हमें challenges पसंद है, so we take the risk and we solve the challenges. We does not step back. We never say that we won't be doing it, whether the challenge come from any part of our life, whether it is workplace, whether it is our home place or anywhere. So women make better leaders. How? So we should know how we make the better leaders. We are the better leaders from anybody else. So we know how to balance our work life with a personal life, how we should keep our professional life and personal life differently. We should keep, we know nowadays this working women's is a concept, but in the earlier periods, there were education, there were educated people, but they were not allowed to work. They were only working at home. So at that point of time also, they used to manage their work. Okay, right now we are working women. We know how to balance our personal life, how to keep our personal life away from the professional life. We give time at work life also, we give time at our personal life also. Inclusive nature. How I said that there is a unique quality in women's, that they believe in working as a team. So we include all our employees, all our coordinators, all our co-workers with us in the decision making. So we believe that everyone has right to speak. We are a good listeners, we listen to them, and then we make a decision making. Empathic. We are very sure about what we do and what challenges we take. We take it with full energy, full confidence. We are very free thinking. Okay, so when I sit as a boss in my office, so I tell my employees that whatever problems do you face, don't discuss it outside, discuss it with me. I'm very free, very positive in nature, that do come and share it with me, so I can give you the better solution rather than going somewhere else or thinking something wrong. So we are very free in our mind that our employees should be free enough to come to us and talk to us confidently. Multitasking, that everybody knows that a woman is always a multitasker. She handles office work at the same time, meetings at the same time, and cooking at the same time. I have seen people working in kitchen and attending the meeting. Motivated. We are always motivated because it's in our nature that we are developed that way only from the beginning. When we take birth, we are always motivated to do one or the another thing, and we keep people motivated that there are problems which comes in life and we should not stop, we should go ahead. Strong communicators. Okay, so this is the best qualities for women. See, we can express better, we can understand better, we can listen better. So we are the strong communicators. So whoever is a good listener is a strong communicators. If we don't listen well, we cannot deliver well. So we are the strong communicators. We dream for big. Nowadays working women is not only in one field. There are working women in all the fields at all the levels. There is Draupadi Murmu. She's the president of our country. As we know, there are so many CEOs, MDs, and chartered accountants who are leading at leading firms, leading business offices, entrepreneurship. And obviously our ma'am Preeti Savla, she is also our motivation of being into a Sky Symposium. And we always think that if we dream big, we get the opportunities, and we'll make it as with enthusiasm, with motivated team and work life balance, we can achieve that. Crisis management. Okay, so this is the best part where women can be a good decision maker. At the crisis management is not like koi bhukamp aa gaya to वैसा नहीं. Crisis management means whenever some problem comes, so women handle so many problems from beginning that she knows how to be calm at that point of time, and then take a good decision, and how to go ahead with the problems, how to settle down with the employees, or how to keep them motivated to manage the crisis at one point of time, and another point of time she can also make the good decisions for management of any problem at any level. Decision makers. Obviously, we are good decision makers because we are strong communicators, we dream big, we are inclusive in nature. Emotional intelligence, that is but obvious in women's. We are very emotional at one point of time, and we listen to others because we create a human touch with them. We listen to their problem, we think that we take it on our situation, and we think and we give the best decisions to them. Flexible. Okay, we are very flexible at each level of work, whether it's a high position or whether it's a low position in an organization. We get adjusted to every position, and then we think from that point, that level, we think how we will work and how we will have to achieve our big dreams. Okay, so it is not like that women's only work at higher level, or women's only work at lower level or middle level. It is wherever people fix it, or wherever organization fix it, we work with complete motivation, we work with complete enthusiasm. Experts. So we all are experts in our own field, whether it is accounts, whether it is politics, or whether it is any doctor, or any AI. Nowadays AI is in artificial intelligence also, women are leading so well. They are expert in it. Since we are always we always dream big, so we want to first achieve what the knowledge about our field, and then we dream big with a good decision making skill, with a good motivation. Defeat the odds. Obviously, we have always defeated the odds. That odds means any barriers, any social barriers, any emotional barriers, any barriers at organization, whether it is any men, or whether it is any policy of the organization where women cannot hold a good position or top position. We have always defeated the odds, and we have come up with the good positions everywhere nowadays. Okay, so barriers to women leadership. What are the barriers to women leaderships? Are old stereotypes. What is old stereotypes? Because men have been always the leaders, as we all know at our home place also. Like, there are so many communities right now available who thinks that men is always right and men can only earn. Okay, he can only run the house, and women are not needed to go out and work. So that is the old stereotypes about the masculine gender. It is not always they don't favor the people. They don't favor women to work, and they always think that women are made to work at home. They can only be housewife. That is only their job to do. Fewer connection. Men always go out, they make networks. Nowadays, working women have lots and lots of network, but at a starting point of time, women face that difficulty. Even I have faced that difficulty when I started my practice. This is very close to me, that that point of time I had less networks, and people used to say that लड़की है क्या ही कर लेगी, why should we give her work, and that was all the case. So there is difficulty for us to make the connections and all that. So it is always thought that women does not have power and they cannot make good decisions, they cannot be connected to at higher levels, or they cannot work in a better manner as men do. Bias and discrimination. So these all are right now prevailing in some organization nowadays. So these problems have been solved at maximum level. The sexual harassment, hostile work environment, subtle biases are still obstacles. There are these obstacles are very less found nowadays, but still we face all these barriers nowadays in an organization at some or the other point of time. Women of color face even further obstacles to their advancement. Okay, so women is being taken that women is always beautiful. Okay, so it is not always like that. Women should also be known for their work, their dedication, their knowledge and everything. But now there are some organization who says, nahi, if you are not beautiful, we cannot take you for this position, or we cannot take you for that position. So that is also a barrier to our women leadership. Lack of flexibility. Okay, so as we need to balance our work and family, we face lots and lots of challenges while maintaining our family relations, because at family it is always assumed that all relation has to be maintained by women. It is not like men is also 50% of marriage, and where he also has to balance with the marriage life. It is always expected that women will do all the work at home also, and all work at the organization or at her workplace. So balancing work and family is the biggest challenge which everybody is facing nowadays. But since there are some organizations who are solving these problems, they are keeping a time limit at workplace for a few people at few roles, that they are keeping 10 to 6 so that they can manage their homework also and the workplace work also. So workplaces are still designed decades old notion of male and female domestic roles. So there, I feel that these barriers are now getting solved in India day by day. They are introducing new policies at workplace regarding the sexual harassment, or regarding the work environment, regarding the time duration for work and all that. Now, old stereotype is the biggest barrier where there are so many communities who don't want to change their uh, thoughts, but women are still fighting over there. Like I said, they defeat the odds. So, defeating these odds, we are holding so good positions at good levels. There are key steps for women to be a strong leader. There are 3 key steps. So, gender equality. Gender equality at a workplace, we always, there are some women who always say gender equality nahi hai, isliye hum kaam nahi karenge. But why? We should always be positive, taking that. We know how to defeat that problem, how to manage that problem. If we take gender equality as a biggest problem or barrier to become a leader, we can never come over it. So whosoever wants to work as a leader or at a top position in any organization or work life, or to become a good entrepreneur, they have to skip that gender equality strategy, and they have to work what we have to pay. We should never compare women and men. We are women, we will work as women. So always comparing us with men is a wrong hypothesis in the mind of women right now. But gender equality in the workplace has been strides, but women in leadership roles still encounter more scrutiny than their male counterparts. So these thing comes when we take gender equality at the top level, and then we stop thinking about something else. So I would suggest women to stop thinking about gender equality. We should work with dedication, we should work with motivation. Success would follow us. If a position renovates with their capability and experience, women should throw their heads in the ring, even they don't meet the job criteria 100%. So position, as I said rightly, that we should not keep barriers in mind. We should work with dedication, motivation, as we have good qualities to maintain the position at each levels. We should always try for some or the other things in at workplace, whether we match the criterias or not. We should apply for that job position. Maybe it is possible that with our communication skill we can get that position and we can achieve well. Women should embrace their natural leadership styles to bring out the positive workplace culture shifts. So we should believe in whatever is natural leadership styles. Natural leadership style is good listeners. We are good listeners. We are good decision makers. So all these are our characteristics. We are benefited by God with all these qualities, with all these benefits in ourselves. So we should always promote them, and we should always develop a good workplace culture. Okay, this is a scenario where on International Women's Day, prioritizing the women's opportunity and leadership role in the workplace must be given top priority to accelerate the growth in India's post-pandemic. These was the call made by business executive, policymakers, and UN gender equality leaders during a virtual Ring the Bell for Gender Equality ceremony held on occasion of International Women's Day for the year. So there, Ashish Chauhan, the MD and CEO of BSE, rang the bell to open the morning trading session and signals his commitment to promote the business practices that gives women greater equality and leadership in the listed companies. So nowadays, as we know that there are so many MDs, CEO of good companies who are women, who are capable of giving their good ideas at the as a chairperson of the organization. As we know nowadays, when we on the TV at 10 o'clock, when we listen to BSC, or we when the markets get open, there are so many women leaders who give us the market analysis. Nowadays, earlier it was all headed by men. Nowadays, in every field, if we see, there are one or the other women. In fact, in the corporate law also, they have introduced independent women director. So that is compulsory for some listed companies who has got their turnover beyond the prescribed limits. So nowadays, at good organization, whether it is at lower level or the higher level, there is always a presence of a woman at each level of the work. So to promote, Ashish Chauhan has also symbolized, he also rang the bell saying that we will promote the business practices with women. Indian companies need to accept the promote women in leadership position as business as usual. It is crucial for us as a society and economy to utilize our resources. We are the best persons to utilize the maximum resources at minimum wastage for an organization. We always think best for the organization. We always know that if our organization grow, we will also grow. So a woman is a best motivated person, always motivated person. She's inclusive in nature, so she takes all her employees, whether it is any level. So she always believes that everybody has their right to speak, and she tries to listen at each level. Now, last but not the least, we'll continue with the things. To be liberate, women must feel free to be herself, not in rivalry to men, but in the context of her own capacity and her own personality. That is said by Indira Gandhi. What does it mean? It means to become free. We don't need to be compared with man. Men uh, men is always at their place and women are always at their place. We decided our own roles. We Men has decided their own roles. So there should not be any comparison between the two genders to become the leader. So women as a leader, I wanted to convey that to become a leader we don't need steps which goes like man is always given the priority. Men will work this much, women. So these all are the barriers which are there in our minds, actually, which which stops our success, which stops us doing the things in a right manner. We should always think that we are women, we are also the part of society. We can work whatever is required. We are able to take the challenges. We have the capacity to manage the work at beyond the level also. We can hold the top position with a good enthusiasm, with a good motivation. So comparing ourselves with any other uh, position or any other gender is not always feasible to for our success. We should always think that uh, we as a woman can change the society. Nowadays, if you see, there are so many changes which has come to the society, that nowadays there are 49% of on an average in a working organization, there is 49% of rise in women workforce at every level. So there are so many people every day there are so many women who are recognized every day for their work, and we should be very happy that we have established our presence at each level of the organization. With saying that, I would invite anybody who want to participate or who want to share their stories about how they come up with the leadership at any level, or whether it is at workplace, how they manage their work life balance. I want you all to just share your stories in bit, so that we can get to know what challenges do you face at your personal levels or your professional levels to come up with the leaders, because women can help a woman to grow further. That's what I believe. Earlier it was said that women are the uh, biggest enemy of a woman, but it is not like that nowadays. It is always, if a woman goes hand in hand with other women, it is always she'll help her to step ahead with a next level. So if anybody wants to share any story or any of the experience, so I'm inviting them to share the stories. Anyone? Does anyone have any questions about how to be a good communicator as a leader or anything like that?
Hello, Simoni ma'am.
Hi.
So, ma'am, I wanted to ask, there are women chartered accountants who have a pause or break in their career due to, if they have a child or something like that. So, getting back to work itself is a task.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to such women?
Okay. I want to just know that whether those women have already worked with previous any chartered accountant, or they have their own working style, or they were providing freelancing. So if, yeah.
Yes, let's say they have their own, they were a practicing chartered accountant with another partner.
Okay. So they can talk at workplace that I want to rejoin, and see, in our field we need to brush up with the knowledge. We cannot just jump in the practice as after taking a long break. So we need to make ourselves very capable. As I said that we are ready to take all the challenges. So the biggest challenge of rejoining is to to get our knowledge back. Okay, whatever we were doing. So in 2-3 years there are a hell lot of changes which comes in our finance sector, even in our curriculums. So we should brush up with those knowledge and we should present it. We should go to organization who are ready for a woman chartered accountant or practicing chartered accountant. We should offer ourselves to the organization who wants to work with us, so we can give the interviews, we can take a chance on us. Like, even I am a proprietor now, I am getting merged with somebody. So I had told them that there will be a maternity leave for me after once I do my family planning or something like that. So there is a policy which we made that I can work from home. So this work from home will continue for me till the time I don't deliver the baby, or I can find a substitute if I don't want to take a break. And suppose if I take a break, so I will always keep a substitute over there who can handle my work, and then I can rejoin. So there are so many ways we can rejoin in the practice again. Just one thing we have to keep in mind, that we should have the knowledges which we should have the knowledge what we have skipped in those past years where were not working, because without that nobody will be interested to keep you as a partner or keep you as an employee.
Right. So knowledge is the key.
Yes. Knowledge is always a path towards the success. That's what I believe.
Okay. Another question we have is from the participants is in corporate, many times the women are not accepted as leaders. Like, they face resistance from their male juniors. So how they can help themselves, or what should be their approach if in such a situation?
Okay, there is a live example of my own self where I was a direct text manager in an organization, and there were people. I had all male in my team whom I was managing. So sometimes they were not listening to me in a proper manner or like that. So what I used to do, I used to design such tasks for them that they have to compulsorily do all these things to manage their work. If they don't do it, I will report it to the senior position. Suppose I am a leader, okay, so I am leading their team. So we should give them a task and we should report to the higher authority from where we are liable to report. Me as a direct tax manager, I was liable to report my partner. So I used to report them with a complete report that this person is like that, the qualities of the work they were delivering to me and all that. So if you face any resistance at that level of time, you do your own part continuously. Don't skip that or don't get troubled by them. So when sometimes people, what women do, they get troubled easily. Okay, they listen to others and then उसने ये कहा, उसने वो कहा, मेरे से ये नहीं होगा, वो नहीं होगा. So don't do that. If maintain your position and what work you are doing, keep doing that. Don't listen to others. If they are not taking you as a leader, don't be harsh on them. Do whatever you're doing. If they are not doing their part, they will face it. It is not you. If you report it properly, you will not be liable for them. So at some point of time, you can tell them that if you do not take me as a leader or you do not listen to me, you will be penalized for that, and I am not liable for that. So you can give such an answers, and you can keep them motivated in such some or the other manner. If you keep on listening to negative things and then you react on those things, then they will obviously not listen to you. Because negative things are like, if some junior has told that she does not know anything, she does not know how to work, you are working properly, why to listen to them? If they are telling that at some or the other point they don't want to work under you, so they'll be decided to move from that place. They are free to move from that place. You can offer that also, whether you want to work with me or not. You can take the decision and you can talk to partner. They will not have the guts to talk to partner, and they will obviously then they will start working under you.
Okay. So we welcome the participants to ask any questions to Simone ma'am. Ma'am, as of now, there are no further questions. So would you like to wrap up the session, or something else you would like to give some any example or something?
I will wrap up the session saying that women's now, it's our society, it's our world. We have to lead by taking all the challenges, keep ourselves motivating at each level, and do not stop, do not hesitate, work with confidence and work with your disciplines. Thank you so much.
So on behalf of everyone present here today, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to CA Simone Sangvi, who delivered an informative and engaging lecture. Simone ma'am has touched upon many aspects, right from characteristics that we as women should possess to take up leadership, and also she explained what barriers we face in our way as women leaders, and also the key steps we should undertake to be a better leader. Ma'am, your insights will undoubtedly prove valuable as we progress in our careers. Also, we would like to thank the chairman of WIMAC, CA Priti Savla Madam, and the vice chairperson, CA Abhay Chatterjee, for taking the lead in organizing such wonderful seminars, webinars, for disseminating knowledge at every week. Also, a big round of applause for our participants who took out time from their busy schedules to be a part of this webinar. And also, we would like to thank our technical team for such a seamless session and all the coordinators. Thank you so much. This is Palak Tikmani, Managing Committee Member of Thane WRC.